welcome to yet another instance of Backdoors and Breaches. This one's going to be probably as equally ridiculous as the last one, but hopefully with a little bit less on the bugs. Now, we did get to talk to some of our favorite folks at Black Hills, and they were able to fix the problem that we were seeing, and it was a pretty cool problem, actually. It was very unusual, so that was nice. It's great to see something like that get fixed so quickly. That being said, let's go ahead and introduce everybody we got here. All right, we have some very familiar faces. We've got our Kellen. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Kellen.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Kellen Benson. I am a senior threat hunter. You can't hear me?
I can hear him.
I can hear you.
Okay. Whew, that was scary. I was like, everything looks like it's working. Yeah, I'm a senior threat hunter here at Red Canary. I will be the incident master today, running today's game of Backdoors and Breaches.
Right, problem solved. And then, yeah, Chuck, if you'd like to go, sorry.
So in my favorite Seinfeld voice, hello! Sorry. For all those I just offended or bothered. Yep, my name is Chuck. I'm a threat hunter here. Happy to be here and play the game. I hope I choose wisely.
All right, sweet. And then there's me. I'm going to be here interfacing with chat. Make sure you guys can chatter along and provide some input, and that these guys don't run directly over it. I'm Tess. I work with the community team at Red Canary. Now today we will not be having our favorite maintainer, Josh. Is he our favorite maintainer? I don't know. You make that decision, but he wasn't able to make it today, so it's a darn shame, but the show must go on. So let's go ahead and get started with the other canaries. We've got a lot of people here. All right. Jerry, you want to go?
Yeah, Jerry Johansson, Principal Readiness Engineer here at Red Canary. Just looking forward to a fun little game.
Fantastic. And Andy?
I'm Andy Hubley. I'm a Senior Software Engineer. I'm pretty new here. I just started at Red Canary in September. So when I heard about this game, I wanted to check it out. So I'm excited.
I'm Rachel Schlock. I'm a Detection Engineer here at Red Canary.
Fantastic. And we've got one more.
And I am Mac Voss, and I'm also a Detection Engineer here at Red Canary.
All right. Thanks, everyone. So now that we've gotten the introductions out of the way, let's go ahead and go over some quick rules. Now, our players do know some of these rules to some extent. We have gone over it a little bit, but for everybody who's a little bit new to this, we have some cards that are going to be a little confusing. At the very top of the screen, you're going to see your attack cards. These are going to be flipped over when you start the game. Nobody's going to be able to see them who's playing except for the incident master, who's picking and choosing and making all sorts of crazy little decisions. That would be our Kellen. Now, all of the rest of the players are going to be choosing procedure cards. These are the things that you're going to be using to act upon and to uncover the attack cards to figure out what's going on in this incident. And then finally, we have our fun little wild cards, which are injects and consultant cards. Injects are sometimes good and sometimes bad, and consultant cards are for if you're super stuck and you really want somebody else to fix the problem for you. So each turn, here's how it's going to work. The defenders will pick a procedure card to play. They will sometimes bicker over this. It's very fun. And then they're going to roll a d20. And if they roll a 10 or higher, is it 10 or higher, or is it 10 or lower? I think it's 10 or higher, that's right. If you roll a 10 or higher, then you succeed in your procedure, and you have a chance to flip over an attack card if it uses your procedure. If you roll lower, you fail, and you have a strike pulled against you. Now, here's the thing. If you get 3 strikes, you fail 3 times in rolling your die, then you could get an inject. And again, that's a wild card. Now, the other important rule is that the DM does whatever the hell they want. That's something very important to keep in mind because Kellen will be pulling out all the stops to mess with you and make sure that this incident is as insane as physically possible. So watch out for that. All right, let's do it.
We're just about ready. Sorry, I
almost
had
there.
a minor technical difficulty where my tab with the game that I had set up yesterday reloaded.
I knew it.
So I've been sitting here remaking the game as you were talking. So it's like I just have to set up the procedures really quick and then we're good to go. I'm really sorry, everybody. This is not something I anticipated happening, but you know, it never is like that.
And thank you, Christopher, in the chat. Yes, an 11 through 20 is success and 1 through 10 is a fail. I couldn't do math in that exact moment. But yeah, so watch out for that one. This is something we thought would happen. So we took intensive screenshots. Now, most of the time we like to just do random incidents, but this one is special and you'll see why.
I built something very fun for you all today. And I'm very excited about it. So we are about to get started. Okay, perfect. We're good to go. I'm gonna make it so you can't see the answers on my screen, because that would make this less fun. And then we're gonna do the thing.
You,
All right,
you can
everybody.
share them with me on the down low. I don't mind.
Yeah, okay. We can negotiate prices. All right. Welcome to looking at the scenario with all the card slips on accident, because I'm a silly goose.
I don't want to see your AWS skill builder thing.
Yeah, I don't want to see any of this. Okay.
That's
There we
better.
go. Fixed it, Chuck. Sweet.
You
We're good
did
to
it.
go. Whoo! Had to remake the thing live. Sweet. Here we go. We are in the scenario. You are all incident responders or cybersecurity people for a Mac. Give me an adjective.
An adjective?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean?
A describing
Any
word.
adjective?
Any
A
adjective.
describing. Magical.
Magical. Sweet. Andy, give me a noun. A person, place, or thing.
Battleship.
Sweet. You work for Magical Battleship, and you are tasked for defending Magical Battleship from
a magical
threats.
spicy battleship.
Magical
Spicy.
Spicy Battleship. Magical
Way
Spicy
better.
Battleship is the name of your organization. I don't know what you do. No one really does, but that's not important. You're here to defend it. And you came into work this morning. You're sipping your tea, your coffee, your kombucha. Who knows what cybersecurity people drink these days in the morning. And you get a notification or an alert, perhaps, that one of your IT administrators was doing some work after hours. Their account was in use after hours last night. And that's a little bit odd that they would be online working after hours. And now you got to figure out what might be happening here. Why was that account in use? You did talk to them. We'll cut that piece out here of you did talk to them. They said, nah, I was out with the boys practicing for Olympic curling, you know? And I was not doing an IT administration last evening. So that's your scenario. What do you do? Where do you look?
Well, we are in a spicy battleship, and the curling team apparently doesn't have nearly as many administrators on it as they should. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on at night. Or were they? Were they on the curling team? This is the most important question. We've spoken to them, and now we know, but were they on the curling team? Call a consultant. Curling in the boys sounds like a duress code, says Christopher Prue.
Is this your organization's duress code?
It is now.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, how do you start investigating that use of the account that was deemed suspicious?
How did we find out like the account was in use? Like, did we get an alert? Like, how are we?
Yeah, let's say you got an alert into your sim fed by some UEBA. We'll say that. So you've got some.
So we saw that they logged in as an administrator. Did we see the actions that are being taken by them, or do we not have insight into that?
Well, we can investigate those things and figure out perhaps what that account may have done. So as we investigate this incident, we're going to jump out of game mode for a second into, we're going to pause the game and say, you don't have to uncover everything in order. So you could discover C2, exfil, pivot, and escalate before you discover initial compromise. So you don't have to do this in order. And I think that's an important thing to know. And you're under the assumption that there is an incident. So you know something is happening. But this is the only information you have to operate on at this point. Resume game mode.
Okay. So at this
I
point,
love endpoint.
Yeah, at this point, do we just pick from one of the established procedures?
That seems like a good move. You are good at these things.
Yep, your established
specialty.
procedures give you a +2 modifier or a +3 modifier. So just remember that it's a big up for you.
Okay.
Oh, can we start from super afar, like with UEBA versus the endpoint? Just because I don't know if we can assume it's from a specific endpoint just yet, but we know an identity is in scope.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like if
we don't know that it is his endpoint, like a specific one, then yeah, I guess can't jump there yet, but I do love endpoint.
I don't love that this security information and event management log analysis says good luck with this one, because that's like that's deterring me from picking that one despite I want to look at the logs. Because I would hope that they have administrative behavior on there, but
well, I mean, you can find out and see if those are in your logs.
Yeah, but I don't want to lose the game.
You've got 10 whole turns. There's so much opportunity for success and failure.
That's true. Let's see what else we got.
And you get a +3 on the things up here to your roll. So that's a pretty big advantage.
So we were fed the alert from UEBA, so we might want to look and see what is in there first. That makes sense to pivot to where we got the alert from.
But if we already know that they logged in, I guess that would tell us more initial. Initial compromise. I guess it could tell us like whether or not it's lateral movement or where it's coming from, / what, if they're password spring and things like that. I'd be okay with that, Rachel.
Am I hearing some UEBA?
UEBA for the win.
I like that too.
I'll be good with that.
We want to win on the first roll. Let's do this.
All right. I'm going to click the button.
Okay, click it.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't like that.
That's not ideal.
No.
Unfortunately,
that sucked.
Maybe US East 2 is down right now. And that's where your UEBA server is hosted because you use the cloud, just, for situations where you don't want to worry about things on prem. And unfortunately, East 2 is down right now, but maybe in a few turns, East 2 will be back up and you can check on those logs again.
Okay, I do have a pause game question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what these dice rolls are going to be?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I have to make everything up from the point of I started this game on. Everything is made up. We're playing Whose Line Is It Anyways with Incident.
Okay, I like that better. That makes me feel better about this. Okay,
It's
do we want to
not
look at our
rigged.
do we want to look at our sim logs?
I want some logs. I mean, we got to find what
Yeah.
endpoint it's correlated to. And that's, as soon as I can, I like to jump to the endpoint.
Yeah. Well, if we can find some logs, we can see something else.
Yeah.
So
Sim?
logs. Yeah, sim logs. I'm good for sim logs. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm good for
Yeah,
some
let's do
logs,
it.
too.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to carry the logs.
Come
your last
on,
chance.
good
We
roll.
roll in. And are you good at sim? Ooh, all right.
Ooh, we'll see.
Well, it's not necessarily that you're bad at sim, it's that you don't have documented procedures, which we're going to take a moment after this dice roll to talk about why that's so important.
Ooh.
But apparently it's
Yay.
not,
Okay.
because you can be good
Yeah.
at it and not have procedures. What did we learn here today?
Tribal knowledge is
Screw
everything.
procedures.
You don't need documentation. Keep it all in your
No.
brain. No.
Love this for us.
Somebody
Incredible.
else did it this way. It must be true.
Okay.
Well, I have
so
some great news
are you
for
gonna tell us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have really good news for you. Your sim log analysis was successful. The card wishing you luck was a sincere thing, and it helped you identify that account being logged into, and then what it was doing from there was actually part of not read write Chmod 777. That should say weaponizing Active Directory. This might be part of my setup issues. So they weaponize Active Directory. And
Okay.
let me see if I have that card on a different page real quick, just so I can show what that looks like. But you uncovered that they logged into that administrator account. And then from there, we're doing some enumeration to figure out where they could go from there with that account, what it had permissions to, and what other fun activities they could potentially do with an IT administrator account or the access it has. I have a question for Magical Spicy Battleship Incorporated. Are you using tiered privileged accounts right now, or does your IT administrator have full access on their one and only account?
I'm hoping tiered, but I have a feeling that we're not.
You want to make it? You want to make us roll for it?
Yeah, let's find out. That's fun. It has no
Okay.
bearing on the game, but this
Wait.
is incredible. No,
Okay.
you're not. That IT admin
Dang
is
it.
tier
Gotta
0.
Sorry, my bad.
You've got a
Don't
tier
make
0
exclusive
admin.
Come on, we could have just stuck to the game. Okay.
All right. Well, you do know that IT administrator account is being used. It is not read write Chmod. It is weaponized Active Directory using something like Bloodhound, or a tool like that to search for the relationships between accounts, groups, and those sorts of things, and how you can use those things to escalate your privileges and do more evil in the environment. I went into such explanation because we don't have the card on screen, and generally we do, and it explains those things. So I apologize to everybody watching. Sorry for the technical difficulty.
Can we ask you very detailed questions on what logs and what was seen?
Are you gonna ask me for event IDs right now?
I mean,
No,
if it's not too much.
you forgot to include those in your schema. You just have all the other information.
Oh, what a bummer.
I don't know who set up the sim.
Somebody didn't
Wish it was
set up their
Rachel.
log bait with proper ingestion. Everything's all jumbled.
Okay.
No, so I don't have actual like props, if you will.
Okay.
But they are leveraging that IT administrator account to move laterally in the environment. You are getting reports of strange behavior on servers and desktops as well from your help desk. They're saying that people are calling in and saying that, like, you know, while they're looking at their TikToks, the mouse on their screen moved. And
Okay. This is good news because that sounds like we could potentially do endpoint analysis.
Yeah.
I
Rachel?
don't know what endpoint yet. It sounds like it could be a lot of endpoints
Mobile?
potentially.
But does endpoint analysis mean we only get to look at one, or does it mean we get to see a bunch in like our endpoint detection and response tool?
Well,
You get to
You
look at
could
more
go-
than one endpoint for the sake of the game.
Okay.
yeah, but Kellen stated earlier that there was weaponization of AD, correct?
That's
Yeah.
true.
So you might want to go back up to the controllers to see what GPOs or other scripts or shenanigans were leveraged.
And Kellen, don't be chipping our players. Make sure you adjust the camera on UEBA.
Oh,
I know.
My apologies, everyone.
Just
There-
trying
I
to
feel,
get away with it.
It's me. I'm the adversary.
all right. So what do you guys think? Does it make sense to focus on the domain controllers or the users' PCs?
Probably at this point, the domain controllers, since we want to
Yeah.
know what all happened with AD.
All
Okay.
right.
Oh yeah, and an extra turn because you use that extra dice roll. Unless you just want to be that cruel.
Oh, that's fair. I forgot that would have an impact to the turn counter. All right, you're on 8 turns and
There's a
0.
button. There's an add extra turn
You can add
button.
an extra turn button. Yeah.
All right.
You did it.
Yay.
Yay.
I didn't want to click it. It feels bad, you know. I feel like I'm supposed to
No,
make this
it feels
difficult.
good. Feels good to me.
Oh gosh. All right. So are y'all thinking endpoint analysis or are you doing server analysis? Or something totally different?
Well,
DCs.
are we looking for remote activity since people's mouses may be moving? That might be something to think about too.
This is true.
Somebody
We
may
have
be RDP.
persistence.
Well, if I
So we
got an
have-
account and I can RDP with an admin account, I can access other systems in the network from a central location.
These are all good ideas. I'm not going to tell you
Just
what to
throwing
do.
that out there is that, and then what you would have to do is look at the endpoint. You would see if there was a single or maybe a handful of endpoints that are connected to multiple systems across the network.
I would agree, but my mind focuses on the statement of weaponization of AD.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
Yeah, if AD weren't in, I mean, so we haven't. Yeah, I think thinking about where the IT admin is doing the things is super important. I think we'll
And
find initial
also-
compromise eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, also trying to find the C2 and exfil like in persistence. We're trying to get those cards flipped over. I think that'll.
Yeah, I have a feeling it would be easy to maintain persistence if the DCs were compromised.
Yeah, for sure.
You think?
Yeah.
All right, let's go with it.
All right.
Servers.
Server analysis. We're rolling some dice. We're having a good time. Is it successful? Cheapers.
No.
Dun, dun,
What?
dun.
I have some bad news. You did not find anything in your server analysis, which I mean maybe that's good news. But
Logging wasn't turned on.
is it
Ooh,
unclear?
yeah.
Is it because you didn't see anything? Is it because it wasn't logged? This is the conundrum you're in right now. It's possible that you could come back to this later and try again. You did realize that a few things may not have been monitored in your server environment.
Wait, we can click the same card again?
Yeah, you can come back to it.
Oh, this changes
Once
things.
the numbers. Yeah.
You need to wait for it to lose a counter though.
Yeah, you're on cooldown.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
Yeah,
Dang it.
you activated
Okay.
your ability. But so you weren't looking at everything. There may have been some servers that weren't sending logs, or perhaps the logs weren't correct, or your EDR sensor wasn't installed on that one server that's exposed to the internet. Who knows what happened
So
there?
is it fair to just throw what we've got at endpoint analysis then, since we were thinking that
mean-
after server analysis? We need something here.
I think so. You could do some not reverse engineering, but reverse troubleshooting of the GPOs back, looking at like the event 1704s, and also seeing like what processing took place, right? And for those who are hip to the logs associated with it, hopefully we'll figure that out.
Yeah. I just need a win here because I don't want to call a consultant.
Magical Spicy Battleship Incorporated does not need a consultant.
Well, yeah.
No.
How are you going to get them out to the battleship?
This isn't a real battleship, is it?
That's a lot of money.
Virtual consulting.
Yeah, and we don't want to be considered quitters.
Yeah.
We got this.
We don't quit.
All right. Endpoint analysis, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
We got a +3 on it. We got a +3 on it.
You get a
Let's do
+3,
it.
so this could be good for you all.
Fingers
Here
crossed.
we go. Look at that! Great
Yay!
success.
I felt like that was gonna happen.
Yeah, that +3 really helps out.
It does.
Well, I have some great news. Not only did you roll successfully, you investigated successfully, and you unturned something pretty useful. So, sorry, I have to scroll a little bit. Not only did you figure out where this is, like, what's happening, you found out that they are actually using remote tooling on top of doing your endpoint analysis. So you figured out, hey, they've weaponized Active Directory. They're using our IT administrator account for evil. And they're pushing remote tooling to your endpoints with those IT administrator privileges. And now, perhaps, the entire, gang that is part of this syndicate of crime is in your environment using remote tools.
Okay, so if they're remoting in,
Wait, were they being pushed via like a PS exec PowerShell or from the DCs? Or does it not matter?
It doesn't super matter, but we can pick one if you want.
No, it's fine. I'm ready to. Well, but in my mind, the reason
SCCM server, yeah.
I mean, it is an IT admin. Maybe they're using SCCM Intune, and they're just like, everybody gets a remote management tool today.
Everybody gets go to PC today.
Or it could even be worse. They're just using the built-in Windows remoting tool. They didn't even install anything. They're just using that built-in remote assist.
so
Add everybody to the RDP group.
should we either do network threat hunting analysis or firewall log review? Does that make sense to see?
I think we need to look at like the EDR and see if we can see like what systems had, if we know what tool it is, what system had it installed.
Well, is there an EDR?
Is that endpoint security protection analysis? Does that count as EDR?
Yeah, that's kind of here. We can pull up the card too. So
okay, that would help. I'm like trying to read the small letters on the screen.
Yeah, no, if there's ever a time you're like,
hey,
I can't see anything. Yeah.
Oh, all
so
right.
it is more like AV type thing. There's not like a true EDR procedure. It's kind of like it lands in between that endpoint analysis and this endpoint security protection analysis.
Cool. Yeah, I agree with you, Rachel. Then if I didn't see this card as being that, but if we have the option, let's go for it.
All right. Any dissent to this option?
No, let's do it.
Cool. We're rolling. You have 6 turns left. To defeat the adversary. Now you have 5 turns.
Yay.
But you were successful. Would you look at that? That's awesome. So endpoint security protection analysis. Let me double check my handy dandy reference here. Ooh, good news. It actually turned up something pretty useful here. So I don't know that AV would do this, so we are going to call it EDR with what was happening here. You uncovered that not only are they using remote admin tools, and this is weaponized Active Directory. They're adding new users with the permissions they have. And they're using those accounts in your environment on top of the privileged accounts. So they are ingrained into your environment. You see the use of some accounts that were newly created today and tomorrow and yesterday. Don't ask me how that works, but you got time traveling adversaries. But you did discover this, so you know that they are adding new accounts to your environment, and you are able to revoke the sessions on those accounts and remove them.
Okay. So now we have to figure out how they got in.
Indeed.
Man, here's the thing. I want to go at UEBA. However, I feel like we've had multiple good rolls in a row, and we're doomed to be jinxed.
Well, then you may as well go with cyber deception.
You could try to deceive the adversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you do that, that's not necessarily going to tell us how they got in initially. But it might be kind of fun.
Unless we deceive them into telling us.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm all for having fun.
I'm not gonna provide any advice, but you could do some cyber deception.
Chuck, I feel like we're on a roll. Maybe we should just keep the roll going.
Okay. UEBA. Roll them.
Okay,
You doing
I'm
it?
really hoping that I was right.
All right.
Do it.
Let's
do
see what
it,
happens.
Do it.
Oh, would you look at that? It's an 18 again.
Whoa.
Oof.
Hey,
I'm
I'm glad that turned out for the
That's a
best.
winner.
Well,
I was a little worried.
let me double check what we got here. Oof. Unfortunately, UEBA did not overturn how they initially got access to your environment. It doesn't look like it was, like the use of an account in a weird way that resulted in them getting in. So it could be something else.
Insider threat.
Oh.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Physical security.
Yeah, gave us creds.
Someone got on the battleship.
Someone got on the battleship.
James bonded their way on.
Did they? I have questions about how they got there, but we can address those later.
Especially because Kellen, you have something kind of.
Oh, we're getting there.
Left field, huh?
We're getting there. But
Yeah.
where are we? What? Where? How did they get in?
Physical security.
Whoa.
I feel like.
I think someone got on the battleship.
Yeah.
Y'all think somebody? Okay, first of all,
amphibious
Here's-
attacks.
No. Here's what I think happened. I think someone got on the battleship, walked up to a stranger or one of our employees and said, "Hey, I'm from IT. Can I have your credentials so I can check your computer?" And then the employee said, "Yeah, sure. You seem trustworthy." And there we go.
all right.
Yeah.
Foolproof.
So Kim wants us to go down the insider threat route.
Yep,
I say we do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
may as well.
There could be an insider threat, which means you would need better physical security on your. Apparently, this
Battleship.
business is literally hosted on a battleship. I'm learning things about this company. All right, we can do that. We rolling for physical security?
Yep.
Do it.
All right.
Oh.
Ooh. So you called your facilities people, you asked them, "Hey, can you go around and just make sure everything's good? Like, is this battleship secure?" And they said, "We're on the water. No one got on." And you're like, "But no, just check." So they went around and they checked. All your locks and doorknobs, they work. You're set.
This is really not
Hmm.
changing my opinion that this is a James Bond situation. These guys must be like evil henchmen levels of good at like exploring buildings.
Oh no.
So
So
if
They
your
don't have an
physical
insider threat. They're just hiding behind a door. Like,
if we've already picked one, so we picked endpoint analysis and found something. If we pick that again, is there a chance that we could find something again, or do you only have
Yes.
one? Okay.
So you can continually reuse cards off cooldown. You should also remember which ones. I don't think we've had any that were a successful roll, but a fail to turn over a card yet. I'm mean and I make you remember it on your own, but I guess we could use these fun little tokens to.
Well,
mark
wasn't
that.
oh, I guess not. Okay. Successful roll, but failure
To
to
flip a
turn
card.
anything over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one that was UEBA. That was.
Okay. Well, this might be a good time to introduce something kind of interesting. That roll was going to determine something, but the attackers have done new things. This pivot and escalate card shouldn't be here, and I don't know why it is.
it's the
But
one that was supposed to be in the main scenario, I'll bet you.
I bet you it is. I'm going to flip it over. It is! Oh my gosh.
Yay!
We found the missing card!
Yay!
The threat actor hid themselves so well, they put themselves in this additional add-on scenario that I'm introducing to you now. So you're dealing with an adversary who's a little bit more sophisticated, and they're not just going to let you win by uncovering a couple pieces of their tradecraft. They're still here. They're still doing stuff. They're
I'm a
still
little
persistent.
annoyed about this, people.
So they're persisting, and they've got two different ways that they've got access into your environment. But fun fact about what I'm going to be a generous incident master. We did the math. We figured out how many turns you get per card, and you get 4 extra turns to solve this scenario now. Yeah, I'm so nice, Chuck.
Yeah, it turns out that maybe being on a ship wasn't the wisest idea for this person. Maybe it's kind of hard to get internet out there sometimes. So they gave you extra time.
You're working in sea time. It's different out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can reuse UEBA. You can reuse any of the cards that you've done before.
Okay. I'm going back to endpoint analysis. I feel like.
Do we have
gotta
any
give us
information
something.
on how we know that they're still here?
Oh, how
Yeah.
are they still persisting? Well.
Because we shut down all their new users, so.
You did shut down all their new users.
But we
But
didn't
those-
account for what's in memory.
And
Fair.
do you know what those accounts necessarily did on those devices to potentially add additional persistence mechanisms beyond just an account?
Okay. So I'm hearing we should do memory analysis and endpoint analysis again.
It probably made some scheduled tasks or maybe even a
Mhm.
service. We should be checking startup folders, I feel like, and all kinds of registry run keys. So that would be endpoint in my mind. But I mean, if it's, I don't know. Yeah, I just always lean towards like, let me see what's on the endpoint first. I would probably go to endpoint to see the persistence mechanisms.
Same.
All right. Anybody, any other thoughts? I heard a talk of memory analysis, but it kind of fell to the wayside with the endpoint analysis.
I feel like you're giving us a hint by saying that.
Oh no, I'm not helpful at all. Don't read into anything I say.
I'm not helpful at all. That's not.
I'm
a good look.
like when you go to the carnival and play the ring toss, that person's not there to help you.
You know, I thought the incident master was supposed to be helpful.
Winston mastered a
Fair.
carny. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
What situation is the incident master helpful?
It's true.
At moving the game forward in a direction.
Christopher Bruce,
Christopher.
thought I heard someone say something about calling a consultant.
Somebody really wants to call a
Oh.
consultant.
Somebody really wants to call a consultant.
I feel like we're broke though. I don't think we have the money for that.
Yeah, because you bought a battleship.
Yeah.
Will Carrie visit us out at sea?
Carrie might come visit you.
Carrie might come
Alright.
visit us. Let's see if it's Carrie.
You could also
think
end
she's
up with a
gonna
mic.
So what's the move? I feel like we have to make one, or it's gonna get worse.
Yeah. Do you want to call a consultant? You want to do some endpoint? You want to do memory? What's up?
I vote endpoint.
All right, we have an endpoint.
Anyone else want to vote?
Yeah, I'm cool with
For
it.
Carrie. Yeah, I'll be in the minority. It's okay.
All right.
Chuck, you're trying to call Carrie?
Chuck really wants to call Carrie.
Carrie?
I mean,
Yep.
we haven't called Carrie before, so if you want to give up and call Carrie, I guess I can't blame you.
We have her on retainer.
We may as well.
Yes.
She's right there.
Could be, I mean, a fun little.
Yeah, let's
We
do it.
can,
See what happens.
you want to call a consultant? I
Cannot
like what I'm
confirm nor
hearing. This is-
deny.
We're doing
Yeah.
it. Chuck?
Do it.
All right. So, for those of you at home, calling a consultant is kind of fun because it can add an advantage to the defenders. So let's call a consultant.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not just like you're giving up. Your consultants are
Oh.
actually helpful.
Yeah, that's.
I wish I knew this ahead of time. I would have been more consultant prone.
Well, I thought it might have been helpful before
Oh!
we started.
It's
doing-
Adam.
Oh no.
Red Canary's very own Adam Mashinchi is your consultant. He's here to help you. He's bringing smiles, a good time, and some excellent knowledge. Let's see what Adam does. I have to reveal all C2 and exfil cards because Adam showed up.
Good.
But I think
you
we
don't
already
know
did,
Adam,
didn't we?
There is no C2
Good roll.
expo
Yeah,
in
I
this
think we
scenario.
already did that.
no, there
Please, thanks,
is.
Adam.
Oh, there's not. It's persistence.
Yeah.
Well, at least he shows up with colorful and dubious metaphors, some silly
Happy.
websites, and open source security tools. Look at this guy. He's here to help.
He's happy to be here.
Yeah. And you're
he-
happy to have him.
Did he end up finishing his Quishing website yet?
I don't know if he's finished his Quishing website. He did.
really hope so.
I'm gonna plug a fun open source project he has later though, now that you reminded me.
Now
right.
I feel like we should go back to endpoint.
All right, I'm gonna roll a die because that does take up a turn. Just so we're clear.
Oh.
All
Used
right,
up one of our
endpoint?
successes.
Yeah, we wasted our success.
Dang it, Adam. Should have been more helpful. Should have been like looking for initial compromise or something.
Right.
really wanted Carrie.
Adam's good at C2.
I know, now I miss Carrie.
Well, we'll see what happens. The game is
Oh,
still
wait.
active.
So you put an X on there. Are we no longer able to phone a friend again?
Well, you blew your consultant budget.
Ouch.
Retainer. It wasn't a
Oh,
budget.
you have a retainer? Okay, we could put it on a cooldown. Maybe you'll scrape together some cash in 3 turns.
Yeah.
Have a fundraiser. Do a bake sale on the boat.
There you go.
All
Are we
right.
selling to the seagulls?
Don't ask questions.
We're selling to
As
the
long-
attackers.
As long as they get currency that is spendable, it's fine. All right. You call the consultant. He helped you confirm that you did find the C2 and exfil. He came in. He said you can tell it's C2 and exfil by the way it looks. You're welcome. All right. What do you want to move to endpoint now that your consultant is here to help?
I think so. I need to find that persistence.
Yeah, and I don't trust that
I know how
Adam's
to-
going to help with this now. He does
Poor
not
Adam.
have my vote. Let me down.
We'll talk to him after this. We'll do
Yeah, we're going to have a word.
a performance review is in order. Oh Lord. I wish he was here. All right.
The insider
So-
threat was really Adam.
Oh my gosh. All right, endpoint analysis, is that happening? Is it real?
It's real.
All right, let's roll. You're good at it. This could be very good for you. Or
No.
not.
No.
Really
What? That's a
bad.
plus
Ah,
Jeepers.
even with the
That was
freaking
that's a natural one. Yeah, that sucks.
Oh, that
Okay, I
is a
blame
natural
Adam.
one.
for this
Which
because
you know
Adam
what?
took our good score,
Wait,
What
don't,
happens on
we
that?
get an inject if we get
Yeah,
a
that's a
nat one,
natural
right?
one. That's a good call out.
Oh, it's not an at one. It's not an at one.
This
It's an at
game-
4 with a +3 modifier.
No,
Wait.
if
But
it's
we
a,
could do an inject anyways because the incident handler said so. The
I'm
incident
calling
man-
that. Oh, you're right. I read that as the 1 plus the 3 is the 4, but that's actually a 4 plus 3.
Math is
Well,
hard.
you get an inject anyways. You're welcome. We're not doing this. You're on a battleship. You had a baby, and you're still working. Sorry,
You're trapped on the battleship.
You're
Yeah.
trapped on the boat. You're
Roger.
still working.
The baby's
now Adam
one of
has to
those
watch a
front
baby.
carriers.
Yeah,
and
so it's great.
working on the incident with you.
That's a great take. Is Adam is here as a consultant, and he is going to be an excellent babysitter as you work on this incident. It's a good thing you have Adam on retainer. Oh boy, this is getting wild. What? All right, so we're gonna move some tokens around. You're still scraping together some money for that. Oh, you can do UEBA again though. All right.
Do we want to do memory analysis since we kind of talked about it, but then skimmed right over it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably where we should move next, because we really need
Yeah.
to find that persistence.
And
we
you're
have
good at it.
Vanish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Here we go. Let's analyze some memories. Oh, would
Ooh,
you
yes.
look at that?
Yay.
Not quite a natural 20, but it is a success. And with that, with your memory analysis, you do actually uncover something. Let me just confirm what it is. Ah! This is a fun one. You uncover some persistence.
Oh,
No-
thank goodness.
So not only were they
Woo.
adding new users, but once they got onto the boxes, they were actually using malicious drivers to establish persistence as well. So they were deep into your computers. They had their grubby little hands ready to just hold on. But you found it. You are now able to take action on that. We can look at this real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're no longer persistent, but now you've got your leadership wondering, all right, how'd they get in? We need to know how they got in. We need to know how to keep them out. So let's wrap this one up. You got 4 turns to figure out how they got in. And if you don't, they might come back.
We did
If
fail the
we
roll on
figure out
physical
one-
security.
Yeah, we did now. If we figure out one initial compromise, do you open up both of them or you only show us one at a time?
You only get one at a time.
Oh, okay.
No.
Shoot.
None of them.
I thought it was a 2-for-1 kind of deal.
No, unfortunately not.
You guys are too good at this. You're not allowed any sort of leniency.
Yeah, this is not. No freebies.
Okay.
Doing security on a battleship, for heaven's sake, your initial compromise should be relatively easy to figure out.
You would think so, but that's
Yeah, well, we thought they walked right on.
All right. Oh, which reminds me. You can call a consultant sooner now.
Yeah, the good that did for us last time.
Hey, now there's other
babysitter.
options. Adam is doing a great job watching this child. They're clearly having a good time. You can tell by the way the baby looks.
Sure. All right.
I lean towards cyber deception or physical security review.
Interesting.
Cyber deception wouldn't uncover initial access, I wouldn't think, but I don't.
Unless
We're
they
still thinking
reveal
it
their
could be.
tricks.
Yeah.
Chuck's out
I'm
here
gonna
trying to throw a
deceive
Hail
them.
Mary.
Yeah, I'm gonna like pretend to be their friend, walking around the boat, trying.
Human hacking.
Looking. Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Okay. It is one we haven't gone with yet.
and
We
we're
have
really
4
good at it.
turns, so
You're really good at cyber deception.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's-
then.
Yeah.
let's make a honeypot here.
All right, Chuck is the human honeypot.
Woohoo.
You can quote
He
me
has
on
cowboy
that.
hat. Makes him look
Chuck,
friendlier.
you are not nearly a good enough honeypot.
Oh,
You slipped up in the midst of, pretending to be an trying to uncover information, and somebody was like, "Hey, aren't you part of that security team that we have on this here boat.
Yeah. Dang it.
The white windowless van that's somehow on this boat was not actually enough to hide you. Everybody's used to that tactic by now.
Unfortunately, you were not able to cyber deceive your way into answers. Chuck gave it his best though.
Tried.
Perhaps it would have been better to have honey tokens deployed before things, popped off. And the ad hoc, cyber deception wasn't the move here. All right.
I just think we call Carrie again. Like Carrie has got to come to my rescue.
You really want to call Carrie? You want to burn a turn calling a consultant?
She would do a great job. I feel good about that.
That's fair.
Okay.
How does the team feel about calling another consultant, bringing another guest on the boat? You've already got potentially
Another
3
one?
guests.
We're running
Actually,
out of
it'd
room.
Get pricey.
It'd actually be 4 guests because a baby arrived as well.
But if this time, if they don't do anything for us, can we send the baby home with them?
Harry just gets off the boat and just like, take
Yeah.
this, go.
This, yeah, we've got work to do.
We've got work to do. Oh my gosh.
Adam
I
can
need-
stay though. We like him.
Are we calling another consultant? Is that what I'm hearing? 3 turns remain.
Yeehaw.
I say yes.
All right.
Do
Okay,
it.
let's do it.
All right. Calling a consultant.
Take.
Mike?
Oh,
What is
boy.
Mike good at?
Mike is good at sim.
Detection. All
Okay.
right.
That's
Now I have to
nice.
go
The
look at some
all
cards.
Go look at this.
Okay.
Come on, Mike.
Hold on.
I hope you know how suspenseful this is.
It's
I'm getting anxiety.
okay. I'm sorry, but Mike
No.
did not
No.
deliver.
Dude, consultants
Mike.
suck.
Mike's got to take the baby and
No.
go.
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Hit the road,
Mike,
Mike.
Adam, and the baby are leaving the boat.
Thank goodness.
I'm really sorry that has happened. I need to plug in my laptop. Okay.
Ugh.
Oh, you have 2 turns, but there's 2 cards. 2 cards, 2 turns.
How
And
do we do it?
your endpoint analysis is back.
Ooh.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you're not allowed to do any more cyber deception, which might be it might just be for the better that way. You should really not let Chuck wander the boat asking people if they're the insider threat.
Not suspicious at all.
I tried.
You are really direct, it's a good skill to have to be direct, Chuck, but just not in that situation.
No, now you made things all tense on the spaceship.
We're in space now.
Well, how did we get up in space? We're on a battleship.
Well, we
Yeah,
did.
the battleship can fly into space, and that's where we are now.
It's amphibious and intergalactic.
Neat.
Yeah, it's
Warhammer 40K, yep.
All right. What are we doing? How are you going to find this initial compromise? Somebody got into your enterprise and did evil, but you don't know how they got in.
We gotta hit that endpoint.
yeah. I'm still endpoint. That's
Just
Yeah.
digging into
Yeah.
that endpoint analysis. All
Yeah.
right,
yeah.
I like it.
Come on.
Into it.
Oh.
A nat 20, a 23, and
A
an
nat
inject
20
all at the
inject.
same time.
Oh man.
This is absolutely wild. All right, so we're gonna do things in order here, which is
All right.
what I decide is the order because it doesn't exist. You actually did uncover something, which I was gonna give you this card if you had a successful physical security roll, but you didn't, so I'm sorry. But social engineering was one of the ways they got in. And
We knew it.
you were able to find that using your endpoint analysis. My creative brain is failing me right now, so you're just going to accept that that's how that worked, and I don't have a rhyme or reason at this moment. Perhaps it was a phishing email. Perhaps it was a pop-up that told them they needed to get some IT assistance.
I do
Your
have a
battle
question
ship
here.
has a hole in it. Click here to connect.
Yes.
Does it matter that we technically didn't get one of those detections?
You talking about the card?
Yeah, because we guessed endpoint analysis.
Oh,
and
I messed up. Well, you
Yeah.
did it. Your incident master can't read, but you uncovered social engineering. You're welcome.
That's all right. That's all right. We deserve that, honestly.
You did, but you also get an inject, which means something bad could happen.
They bribed
Not
their
with
way
that
up to the
attitude.
battleship during the last port call.
I
Yeah.
hope the baby's not back.
What?
No.
-1. We only got the one.
No procedure card. You get
You get to
Oh.
lose a procedure card, and I'm gonna do a real solid here. You can no longer cyber deceive.
Oh, thank goodness.
You're just not allowed to do that anymore.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
For the better.
Are you so
It's addition through
anti-deceptive?
subtraction.
I mean, we failed at that and we got social engineered. So yeah, I don't think we should try it.
Yeah, you should really. There's some other things you might want to focus on at the moment. All right, you have one more turn. You've got one turn to turn over this initial compromise. I believe in you. I think you can do it. It's right there. You know that they got in and got access to an admin account in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
How do they get in to your environment and see what accounts you had and determine who an admin was?
UEBA?
So like public facing RDP, we have something exposed.
Would that be firewall? No.
If it's yeah, I mean, if you're looking at like
Could be
something that is
firewall log
external,
review.
yeah.
We're really good at it.
You are
Yeah.
really good at it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we're good at that we haven't tried yet.
That's true.
Yeah. Let's do it. I mean, we're on red alert anyway, and I feel good now the baby's gone.
Everybody can focus up. Adam and the baby and Mike have left. There's no more distractions. It's just
Yeah,
you
I
and
feel
your
good about it.
incident.
You're on a
All right.
tiny little boat in the middle of the ocean now.
We helicoptered them.
Did we?
That's what we told
To
everyone.
space?
Yeah, yeah, we're in
Into
space.
space.
Wait, how did we get them back? Escape pod?
Yeah, we
all
gave
right.
them masks.
Did
Yeah.
someone guess security questions that were put on posts on Facebook? Says Kim.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
Is there
Firewall log
Facebook
review?
space?
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. With a +3, can you do it?
Oh, we can't.
man.
Well, you got most of the incident, which I'd say that's a pretty big success considering all the wrenches that were thrown at you.
Yeah, we
And you're dealing with a fairly sophisticated adversary. I don't know if any of you will put the pieces together here about what adversary I decided to emulate this off of. But I'll show you this. So social, that should say exploitable external service. Just so we're clear.
I said that.
You did, which I was like, they're on it. They're gonna get it. And this is the fail on this roll is what got you. You would have flipped.
What a bummer.
You would have flipped exploitable external service on a successful roll.
But I think that's a win.
Blame on this log review.
Yeah.
So, you are dealing with the so hot right now adversary, Octo Tempest, Scattered Spider,
Yep.
whatever you want to call them. So that's what the scenario was meant to emulate. And I think that it did a good job of showing how difficult they are to deal with sometimes. But they're not impossible to deal with, and their tactics are detectable, and you can crush them like the bug they are because of the spider.
Wow.
Well, that's the spider you don't take outside and let roam back in the world again, you know? You don't put it in a cup and take it out, say, go to the garden, you know? I think you all did a good job. I think your path of investigating this was good. I think that like focusing on endpoint is a pretty strong thing to do here. It's tough to like track down everything that's happening. Like you went for UEBA, which is also solid, looking for like behavioral anomalies, which is a great way to detect you know, the way that scattered spider moves about using accounts for things that they don't normally do, or perhaps, you know, they spin up a new account and that account's doing some suspicious things. So the malicious driver thing was kind of just a spicy add-in that they do. It's not as common, but it is there. So all right, thank you all so much for playing. I hope you had a good time. I hope that your enterprise continues to succeed and Magical Spicy Battleship is successful. I don't know how this ends. I'm just rambling at this point. Tess, help.
You did it. Well, yeah, that was a lot of fun. You guys did great. I think that was overall a great one. That was a really, really good playthrough. So thanks everyone.
That was really fun.
Really appreciate it. And the recording, recording will be sent out. That's right. Thanks everyone.
All right.
Kellen,
Thanks,
thanks for
guys.
Bye,
Thanks for
y'all.
running this,
Thanks,
Kellen.
everybody.